it's been 2 days since the Supreme Court decided to close the proceedings in this entire matter, in fact asking the wrestlers to go and approach a lower court if required. The wrestlers are now saying that their protest will continue till the time Brij Bhushan is arrested. In fact, even though the BJP has officially not spoken a word about it, there are some statements that are coming in from the MLAs of this party. One such MLA, Ajay Singh, who is from Karnailganj, and the other MLA is from Balrampur Sadar seat in UP. His name is Paltu Ram. Both of them making this allegation that this is a conspiracy that has been hashed by the Congress. We will be discussing all such aspects relating to the story, and for that, with us right now, in fact, the guests who are joining us are senior sports analyst S. Kanan Kumar. We also have political analyst Govardhan Das, and from the side of the Congress, we have the spokesperson of Congress, Dolly Sharma, and we are, of course, awaiting Mr. Kapil Sankla, the senior advocate in the Supreme Court, also to join us. Now, let me begin. In fact, we were expecting one of the wrestlers also to be with us from that spot. Maybe he'll join us a little later. Let me then get to Mr. Kanan. Mr. Kanan, can you explain the story to us and to our viewers? You are somebody who observes the sporting ecosystem really closely. What, according to you, is going on here?
Thank you. Good evening. Firstly, I think it's played out, in full glare and blare of the media, social media, and this has been on since January 2023. First time when the protest happened from the wrestlers, obviously it was heard, there was sympathy for them. And at that time, an oversight committee was formed by the Government of India, the report of which has been submitted to the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. Secondly, the Indian Olympic Association had also formed a committee, the report of which has not been submitted. One really does not know what transpired between January and April 2023, which prompted the wrestlers to again go on a dharna and come out so ugly. I'm using the word ugly because the allegations they have made are sweeping, they're abusive, they are targeting not just the Wrestling Federation of India, President Brij Bhushan, Sharan Singh, the kind of lack of respect they showed towards the IOA President P.T. Usha, the way they have been abusive about Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It has been shocking, If you have a problem, the problem has been addressed. The problem was you complained that there have been harassment cases, even sexual harassment cases. In January, there were 7 wrestlers, and from January to April, when the Oversight Committee had several meetings, real and virtual, you were heard, you explained your point of view. There was also the point of view heard of Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. The report has been completed. It's with the Government of India. Where did this suddenly a minor case come? Where is that minor wrestler suddenly being propped up from? Where you're saying you slam Poxco at and come out, you're saying that Brij Bhushan, first you wanted him to resign, then you want to be arrested. There is a natural process in law. Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh's term ends in May, which is already now. The Ministry, Government of India, Sports Affairs, has already told the Indian Olympic Association, you form an ad hoc body to control and take charge of the daily running of the federation and how to hold the elections. That process has also been set in motion now. It's I think sometime in another 3 weeks or so the elections will happen. Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh has been there for 12 years. His term is ending. He's not going to be there. Going to the Supreme Court, the complaint was that the Delhi police is not registering the FIR. The FIRs have been registered and they've been done in a proper way. Even the minor wrestler has been talked to on the phone. So what is the issue now? The Supreme Court, Honorable Chief Justice Chandrachud has said that as far as we are concerned, we were only trying to ensure that the FIR is registered, point number 1. Point number 2 is their protection. And these wrestlers are saying they don't want protection. Why don't they want protection? They are in Jantar Mantar, which is a hot spot. I went there on Sunday to meet the wrestlers. There was heckling going on. I am a bona fide journalist. I have my identity card. I was told you're not needed here. So the kind of people who are there at the protest site, they are not sports lovers. It has been politicized. And I'm sorry to say, this is no longer wrestling. This is mud throwing, mud slinging, nothing more than that.
Okay. But because you went all the way there and you tried to meet the wrestlers, and you are making a point here, Mr. Kannan, that there is a new element now in terms of allegations. Would you just elaborate a little more on that?
Which particular allegation are you talking about?
You said that there was an entrant of a minor this time, and this allegation was
Yeah, nobody knows about the minor because you cannot reveal, the identity of the minor. Nobody knows who the minor is. I suppose the Delhi police knows who the minor wrestler is. The minor case was not there in January. How come between January and April suddenly a minor has come up? And as far as the senior wrestlers are concerned, they've already been heard. They've had their meetings, and in the oversight committee, one of the Fogart sisters, family members, she also was part of the committee. She has signed the report. So that report has been submitted, and it is very shocking suddenly that you're propping up a minor. Then you're talking about POXO Act. You're talking about, first you said 10 incidents, then you said 100 incidents. And we have heard also from Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh that he's ready to be, examined. He's ready to face. So, but there is a process of the Delhi police. FIR has been registered, more than one FIR. They will be examined. The athletes, the wrestlers, those who brought pride to our country, they are being heard. It's being recorded under section 164 CRPC. And after that, what is the process? Once you file it, there's a charge sheet. And if there is something in the charge sheet, then you go to the process of charge frame. So everything is in motion. And if you still want further relief, you have to go to the High Court. So where is the question of a protest? Why do you need to protest? You're holding the whole country to ransom. Wrestling camps are not on. Bajrang Punia and Vinesh Fogart, their tours were cleared for overseas tours. This is the year of the Asian Games. Hardly 4 months. We are exactly 14 months away from Paris Olympics 2024. And if you're not going to be training, if you're going to, do a nukkad drama on the road, this is not the way it should be. And the kind of people who are supporting them there, I think it's got a clear tint of, the Kisan Union there. And don't forget that Bajrang was part of the farmers' protest at the Singhu border. So, where his political philosophy lies.
Right. In fact, on the show, we have, of course, a political analyst. We also have a spokesperson from the Congress, and I would take all the questions with them. And we also have a senior advocate from the Supreme Court, and he will explain to us the legal standpoint. But I'm just hoping that we have with us Somveer Kadian. We're waiting for him to join us. But before, all right, till the time he gets through, let me take this question to our political analyst, Mr. Das, Mr. Govardhan Das. I just read out the names of, the MLAs who have now come out in support. Remember, there is no official word or statement from the Bharatiya Janata Party at all, even though Brij Bhushan belongs to that party, is a member of parliament from the BJP. We have no word, nothing at all on this entire controversy. But there are, of course, the locals in that area, 2 MLAs of his area who have now come out in support, and they are alleging that conspiracy is happening. What is your take on the entire thing? Do you really think a conspiracy is happening here?
Okay, good evening. Just to correct you, I'm not a political analyst. I'm a simple professor in JNU. I do science. Anyway, so I'm here to talk about the 2 things I should talk about. Number one, I definitely echo with Mr. Kannan. And this is more or less like taking the political turn. I think this is a much more really serious issue. It should not take the political turn. Some of the news channels and some of the parties probably they're instigating them, and they are all right now what is happening. But it should not. Their problem should be addressed appropriately, and sensibly their problem has to be addressed. But now the case is now, as you see, already the Supreme Court is already gave some kind of direction and is now in court. And also this is FIR has been filed. So therefore, I think this is the case is in sub judice, and Indian government is doing to their best they can do. They are taking all the steps. And I don't think that right now it should be the issues. And we all are law-abiding citizens, including this our athletes. They should abide the law, and they should look for what is the judgment coming from the court. And I don't think we should make it the it's a political issue that they are trying to take the political issue, including the host, now the NDTV and the other channels, they are trying to make a kind of is a political issue. It's not a political issue. Rather, it should be solved amicably. And our athletes are the pride of the nation. Their demands has to be taken care of.
Okay. All right. Because you have made this charge, I want a response to this from Dolly Sharma. Dolly Sharma, politics really happening is the charge? And of course, your party has made very serious allegations and spoken a lot at length as far as the wrestlers are concerned and the protest is concerned. Now the charge, of course, coming your way and other opposition parties who have been seen to stand with the wrestlers there is that all of you are trying to together politicize the entire matter.
These athletes brought India pride on international levels, and they are being manhandled. They are being treated the way they were treated day before yesterday. And now, you must be remembering the case of Nirbhaya. During Nirbhaya's case, the country came together in support of Nirbhaya and her family. Nobody used this word politicizing. Today, Congress party is standing with the athletes, with the wrestlers who bought name, who bought medals for this nation. We does not want to politicize this issue at all. We are standing with the sports people. We are standing with the wrestlers of our country, and we will stand by it. We are not politicizing this at all. And I would like to say one more thing. Since the day wrestlers began their protest at Jantar Mantar demanding action against sexual harassment, the only statement given by the Prime Minister of this country on the issue is on Mahila Samman is please enroll for MSMSC. It offers many advantages for our Nari Shakti. These are the wrestlers with whom Prime Minister used to stand, click pictures, and he on the podium, and the video is viral today, where he's saying, Vinesh, तुम मेरी बेटी हो, तुम्हें रोते हुए मैं नहीं देख सकता. और आज वो विनेश रो रही है. आज वो विनेश लगातार कह रही है कि मैं परेशान हूं. क्या आज जब विनेश ने अपनी परेशानी सीधी प्रधानमंत्री जी से भी कही है, क्या उनका फर्ज नहीं बनता कि वो अपने उन देश के खिलाड़ियों के लिए, जो खिलाड़ी इस देश का नाम रोशन करते हैं विश्व पटल पर, उनकी आकर समस्या सुने जी, उनकी आकर बात रखें. आपने आए 2 कमेटी बना दी and you want to just you're ignoring the wrestlers. 2 कमेटी बनाने के लिए हुआ क्या? पॉक्सो एक्ट लगाने के बाद the person is giving you interviews continuously on many media channels, and the same thing happened with the farmers of this country when they were protesting, when they were raising their voices against this government. Same allegations were made on continuously.
All right, Ms. Dolly Sharma, you made your point.
They were using bad words for the farmers of this country, and same way they are treating the wrestlers of this country.
Okay,
who
you made your point.
For this nation.
You made your point.
We have
Somveer Kadian. We have Somveer Kadian who's joining us from the protesting side. He's one of the wrestlers who's sat down there with Sakshi, Vinesh, etc. And he's also protesting along with them. Somveer, मेरा सवाल आपसे ये है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट में आप गए, आपने FIR मांगी, FIR का रजिस्ट्रेशन की आपकी डिमांड थी, FIR हो गया, FIR has been registered by the Delhi police. Then you said you want the arrest of Brij Bhushan. The Supreme Court now says that all right, I'm closing the plea, at least as far as Supreme Court is concerned, and that you can go to a lower court if you so want. आपका आगे का क्या प्लान है सोमवीर? सोमवीर, अगर आपको अगर हमारा सवाल नहीं सुनाई पड़ा, मैं आपको एक बार और ये सवाल पूछ रही हूँ. मेरा सवाल आपसे ये है सोमवीर कि 2 दिन पहले सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने आपके केस में, आपके प्ली पर सारी सुनवाई क्लोज कर दी है, उसे बंद किया है. आप पहले गए थे, FIR की डिमांड थी आपकी, FIR हो गई, फिर आपने कहा ब्रिज भूषण को अरेस्ट करना है. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा कि हम आपकी प्ली की सुनवाई हमारे पास बंद करते हैं, अगर आपको ज़रूरत लगती है तो आप लोअर कोर्ट जा सकते हैं. मेरा सवाल आपसे सोमवीर ये है कि आपका आगे का प्लान क्या है?
नहीं, वो सुप्रीम कोर्ट के पास तो हम इसीलिए गए थे कि एफआईआर के लिए ही गए थे। वो उन्होंने अपना काम पूरा कर दिया। हम उनके फैसले का सम्मान करते हैं क्योंकि सुप्रीम कोर्ट के पास और भी मामले हैं। अब उन्होंने हमको नीचे लोअर कोर्ट में भेज दिया है, तो इसमें कोई हम निराशा की बात नहीं समझ रहे हैं कि भाई सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्यों छोड़ दिया। वो एक हमको अब अपने चैनल से गुजरना पड़ेगा, उस प्रक्रिया से गुजरना पड़ेगा, बयान कराने पड़ेंगे, उसके बाद ये प्रोसेस आगे बढ़ेगा। और उन्होंने अपने जो एक अपने लिखित में भी दिया है, अगर आपको ये लगे कि आपकी जो बयान वगैरह जो आपकी प्रक्रिया है अगर धीमी है तो आप दोबारा से सुप्रीम कोर्ट में आ सकते हैं, ये उन्होंने बोला है।
जी, तो आपसे यही समझना चाह रही हूँ कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने क्या बोला वो तो हम सबने देखा, हमें सबको पता चला। आपका आगे का क्या प्लान है?
हमारे आगे का प्लान यही है जी, अब दिल्ली पुलिस अब ये देखते हैं कि गिरफ्तारी कितनी जल्दी करते हैं, हम उसी के लिए बैठे हैं यहाँ पर।
ठीक है,
दिल्ली पुलिस कितनी जल्दी इसके ऊपर इन्वेस्टिगेशन करती है और इसके ऊपर एक्शन करती है।
ओके, तो दिल्ली पुलिस की इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रही है। दिल्ली पुलिस ने भी आधिकारिक तरीके से बताया है कि काफी स्टेटमेंट्स रिकॉर्ड हो गए हैं और इन्वेस्टिगेशन उनकी जारी है। आप ये कह रहे हैं कि जब तक अरेस्ट होगा नहीं, जब तक आप हटेंगे नहीं वहां से?
हाँ जी, बिल्कुल यही है दिल्ली, क्योंकि हमारे को बिल्कुल भरोसा नहीं है। जो आपने देखा 2 दिन पहले कि भाई कि कैसे उन्होंने हमारे पहलवानों पर लाठी चार्ज किया रात को, उनके 2 पहलवानों को सिर में भी चोट लगी, टाके आए उनको। तो अब सबसे पहले तो उनको एफआईआर करने में इतनी प्रॉब्लम थी कि हमारे को सुप्रीम कोर्ट तक जाना पड़ गया, और अब फिर रात को ऐसा व्यवहार कर रहे हैं हमारे साथ। और आज दिन में यहाँ हमारे जब धरने को डिस्टर्ब करने के लिए उन्होंने बड़े बड़े माइक लगवा लिए यहाँ पर, जो हमारे देहात की भाषा में बोलो धूतू लगवा दिए।
जी, कादिर जी, आप हमारे साथ बने रहिए। आई जस्ट वांट टू क्विकली नाउ bring in senior advocate from the Supreme Court, Mr. Kapil Sankla. Mr. Sankla, you heard the protesting wrestler. He says till the time the arrest doesn't happen, they're not going to move. Basically, this entire clamor now that he should be arrested as soon as possible. In fact, there are some who are saying that the arrest is mandatory. What I want to understand from you, Mr. Sankla, is that as per the sections that have been slapped against him, please do explain to us, is the arrest mandatory in a case like this?
Right. You see, the Honorable Supreme Court also has stated this, that the FIR has been registered. FIR is the seed after which all investigation takes place. So now the investigation will take place. The statements under 164, which is before the magistrate, will be recorded. Statements under 161 of the witnesses will be recorded, and all of that. Only after that, if there is a prima facie case, will the accused be arrested? We tend to think where there is a cognizable case, which is, about 3 years, a person has to be mandatorily arrested. No. He should be arrested if it is so required, if he is not participating in the investigation, if he is hiding the truth and all of that.
Okay.
So therefore, when you say investigation takes place and we are there till the time he gets arrested, that is a wrong understanding of law and frankly very unfortunate. Unfortunate also, not in this case, but generally. In any case where FIR is registered, the police shows undue haste to arrest the accused, which is, I think, unfair, because you also have to see whether a case is made out, whether there's a requirement for a person to be arrested or not. I do understand that the offences are very serious. There is a POCSO case, there's a Section 10 case, there's a Section 10 case, 7 years custody. I understand that in a POCSO case, the presumption of guilt is there because the statement made by the minor is taken to be the truth, so to say, and so the onus shifts. That is all true. But you also have to appreciate that what is being stated is a 10-year period where supposedly harassment took place.
Okay.
So one has to see whether there is any scientific evidence, whether there is any medical evidence, whether there is any recording audio video, whether there is any witness who's seen it, and whether that witness is fair and true and impartial. Without which, if we are saying merely because it is an unfortunate situation and my heart goes to the actual victims, and my fear is where actual victims suffer because there is a false case or a flippant case, so to say, where somebody just comes up with an allegation because of political motive or whatever. This may not be the case. I am a spokesperson. I have huge respect for national affairs. But the fact is very simple. You do not change the law. You do not short circuit the law. You do not go directly to the Honorable Supreme Court when 156(3) gives you the power if the police is not registering the FIR. You go before the magistrate and you say, listen, I waited for 45 days. I've gone to the police is not registering my FIR. Register the FIR. If you're not doing that, the court has already given you a lot of indulgence by registering the FIR in the directions. Now the Honorable Supreme Court rightly stated that if you want monitored investigation, you go before the magistrate, you move an application under 156(3). If you think the magistrate is not listening to you or there is some other thing that is happening, you go under 482 to the Honorable High Court, which is the inherent powers of the Honorable High Court.
Right.
Here what they're trying to, unfortunately, is kind of short circuit the system, which is the malice of being entitled, which is unfortunate. That is what I would say.
Well, Mr. Sankla, thank you so much for explaining the entire legal standpoint here. I'm thanking all my guests. We have to wrap up the show, but we've been at least able to throw light on every aspect connected to this story. With that, we're taking a short break.